You're listening to E-Commerce Fastlane, episode 25.
Welcome to E-Commerce Fastlane, the podcast show to help you build, launch, grow, and scale a wildly successful e-commerce company. Listen to real conversations with proven practical strategies and success stories. Learn how to generate more traffic, more sales, more profit, and customer lifetime value for your Shopify store. And now, your host and e-commerce entrepreneur, Steve Hutt.
Hey there, it's Steve, and welcome back to the E-Commerce Fastlane podcast. Now, if this is your first time listening, this is an e-commerce show where we have honest and transparent conversations about building and thriving online with your store powered by Shopify or Shopify Plus. Now, new episodes are available each week in iTunes and Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, or you can also sign up at ecommercefastlane.com and be notified when new shows are being released. Now, on today's episode, we're going to discuss text message marketing, or which is also referred to SMS marketing. And I'm excited to have Mike Stoychev on, who is the founder of SMSBump. And, basically, we're going to dig deep into kind of the successful strategies and tactics that you can use to kind of significantly improve conversion rate for your store. And, most importantly, the LTV, which is the lifetime customer value. So let's jump into the show. Hi, Mike, and welcome to E-Commerce Fastlane.
Hey, Steve. Pleasure to have you.
So on a high level, let's talk about kind of what SMSBump does and kind of what problem that it solves for Shopify store owners.
Right. So SMSBump is a text marketing and automation app for Shopify store owners, and it helps them improve sales and lifetime customer value. SMS is much more personal compared to email, so it offers a great open rate. And this is something that, of course, email is lacking those days.
Yeah, I noticed the attention is kind of one of the topics that Gary Vaynerchuk has been talking about. This is really an attention game because there's so much noise going on the internet right now. And text is reasonably kind of interruptive a bit, and it lets people stop and pause for a second, like, who has my phone number and what's this all about? And so I think it's interesting that you definitely get the eyeballs of the person right away when it comes through. Same as Facebook, which we'll get into in a few minutes too, with retargeting through Facebook Messenger. Before we kind of get into that, tell me a bit about you and your entrepreneurial journey kind of so far, leading up to kind of building and now launching this SMSBump platform.
So I'm originally from Bulgaria, and I have studied at the American University in Bulgaria, and then did Harvard Extension School. I have worked a little bit for my parents, and, I wanted to do my own thing for quite some time. So I moved here to Sofia, which is the capital of Bulgaria. And with my partner, we started a mutual business, which has been doing quite well. Basically, we've been doing e-commerce for the past 7 years. It's more of an open source e-commerce that we have been focusing on previously. And the company that we've been running has about 52,000 customers. So SMSBump really started as an incubator inside our own company. We launched it prior to Black Friday last year, around the end of September, beginning of October. And it has done pretty well so far. So we decided to put more effort and get some help. So right now, company is growing, and we're developing new features, and I will be happy to share our experience so far with the listeners.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I have you on today is because I'm fortunate enough to be able to do some app audits inside some clients that I manage, and one of them happened to have SMSBump in there. I didn't hear of it before when I clicked through and kind of saw the different sort of automations and some campaigns and things that text message marketing can doing. And then I started seeing the ROI, the lift in conversions that was happening, which is like, okay, wow, this is like amazing. And I find that a lot of merchants that I have kind of decided to do it with three different apps or three different solutions kind of almost staggered to a certain degree, where they've kind of chosen to do Facebook Messenger retargeting. And there's a few apps that are out there. I think I've interviewed Shop Message recently. But the idea here is that, people have kind of the Facebook logged in experience, and as they're kind of looking around the web and they happen to add something to the cart just to kind of see shipping and delivery times and whatever the reasons are, people are shopping around, that Facebook kind of tracking pixel and the Facebook Messenger knows that's the case and kind of what you've done, and then through these apps you're able to kind of retarget them right away, remind them that their cart is still available, and that's through Facebook Messenger retargeting, and that's usually like 15 minutes or so kind of after someone's looked at a cart. And then where you fit in with SMSBump, I've found with quite a few of my merchants, is literally 30 minutes after the cart abandonment, which is kind of one of the sequences they have set up, is that now a text message goes out to them, and then after, and then that will have its click-through rate and its kind of engagement, and then potential lift of more conversions and all that. And then the final piece of the puzzle was email, and that's kind of typically the largest channel for most e-commerce retailers. There'd always been talk on the internet and talk on this show about growing your email list, and just because conversion rates are so low-ish, and some are around 2%, some are less, some are a little bit higher, but let's call it 2%. You always want to kind of do whatever you can to grow your email list, and that usually is kind of the third piece of the puzzle of Facebook Messenger retargeting, then a text message kind of SMSBump to remind them about their cart being abandoned. And then the third part, maybe an hour or so later, and certainly a day and 3 days later, having some kind of a sequence set up in email to remind them. And depending on where the merchant is in their journey, they may not look at text, they may not be on Facebook at that point, or they may go to their email. It's just another touch point. Does that kind of flow make sense to you at all, kind of in what you've seen?
Yes. So I believe text messaging is a great tool to your marketing arsenal. Maybe a push notification would also make sense among those couple of options as well. We work extremely well with retargeting apps on Messenger. I believe this is a great idea to start with Facebook Messenger, since the client might be logged in there already. Or you can also choose another strategy where you can shoot the text message first, because again, it's very intimate, it's very personal. The customer would probably, have their phone in their hand. They'll say, "Hey, I just shopped here 15 minutes ago, and they're sending me an offer. It's a no-brainer for me to just complete my checkout using this unique discount code that they have been sending." Bottom line is, I believe that SMS works great, both as a standalone tools of trade and also as a part of a bigger arsenal.
Yeah. No, that's a very good point. And I totally agree with you that I think having those four then, so, potentially SMSBump, so SMS, Facebook, email, and push notifications, I think those are a very interesting four pieces of the puzzle, I think, at least from a cart abandonment kind of process.
Yeah. And I just want to add a small point. In my opinion, and this is just a message to the marketers on Shopify or anywhere else, I believe here it's very important to utilize the power of each platform and not just blindly mimic the message across different channels. Like, do not send the same message on Messenger, on via SMS, and then later on via email. Try to make it sounding unique. Try to use unique discount codes. Try to use unique wording. And I think the whole range of those marketing tools would really work great for your store and business.
Kind of an intimate question here, but what inspired you to to want to be involved in text message marketing, and and I guess now having that built into the SMSBump solution?
So that's a great question. Actually, there were multiple factors. Number one is one of our bigger clients in our e-commerce company was just testing out with text messaging. So we actually built a solution for them. And after they have been running it for a few months, we saw how well this works for them. We were consulting them on ways to improve the open rates. We were helping them to, for instance, add not only, for instance, abandoned cart sequels or text marketing messages, but also ask them to add text notifications such as information about the customer order, which I believe helps improve the customer support. Also, everyone loves those messages when you know that the order is shipped, you would like to get your tracking number. So seeing just the results and the sheer happiness of customers who are really not expecting to get that details after they made an order, and also combined with the great results that they were getting from the text campaigns, was one of the reasons for us to decide and to embark on this journey, basically. And the other aspect, the other angle of this was the decline in email marketing that we have been seeing. Also, for instance, a couple of years back, Google decided to create a special folder for customers who are, blasting email campaigns, and
Yeah, the
it's
promotions
definitely
tab.
more. Yeah, the promotions tab, which no one opens ever. So yeah, so basically, it was a great mix of those two factors. Also, at the same time, we noticed that the growth of WhatsApp, Messenger, Viber, and all those platforms, and the return to a much more intimate experience for customers and store owners. Usually email is a little bit slow. Then when you have this direct communication, you kind of can interact with the customer much closer. So the high open rates, the growth of the messenger platforms, the decline of email, combined with the first hand experience on the growth that our client was able to achieve, were some of the factors that pushed us to embark on this journey.
Very cool. Thanks for sharing that. And I guess my takeaway from that was, I agree with you about the whole order follow-up. I think about, the whole surprise and delight when there is, because there's more than just marketing messages to get people to convert. It's kind of like, well, what's happening post-purchase? And you brought up a great point about, using some kind of a solution and kind of proactively outreaching the whole shipment journey. I think I recently interviewed Aftership, which is another kind of solution. And there's a few others that are on the market that have beautiful landing pages, and they create really good customer journeys from the tracking number forward all the way through. And I think you're right on the money about creating a great experience for the brand. And it's kind of putting these few pieces of the puzzle together. And that's kind of why this podcast is out here, to kind of, delicately get people down the right path of here's, what large brands are doing, and here is what you can also do if you're a startup, and it's affordable, and it really differentiates you to your competitors. So let's talk a little bit about text messaging now, because I know it's been obviously out for quite a while. And so what kind of makes SMSBump kind of stand out a bit compared to some of the competing solutions on the market?
First of all, I believe we offer a seamless Shopify experience, which means that once the customer downloads our app, they just need to verify their phone number. And we're, I believe, the only app doing this. We need to have the customer's phone number in order for us to guarantee that they wouldn't be sending spam, that they would be TCPA compliant. So if there is any complaint regarding this customer from some of their clients, it will be an easy way for us to just get in touch with them, to give them a bit of an advice on what we believe they did not so well, and how they can improve for further campaigns. We get asked quite often whether we're going to use the customer's phone number in order to send a text message. And the answer is no. We just use them to have them on file in case we need any sort of information, or in case someone has something to say about you sending your campaigns. So back to your question, there are a few features that I would say are very differentiating for our business. This is something that we just launched actually, and it's sending text messages according to customers' time zone. So, for instance, if you are an international brand and you have customers all over the globe, time zones are an issue. And the reason being is that once you launch a campaign, if you decide, if we say we're based in Boston, and if we decide to launch the campaign at 9 a.m., it wouldn't be 9 a.m. in Europe, and it wouldn't be certainly 9 a.m. in Australia or New Zealand. So with this feature that we have developed, whenever you're launching a campaign or you have a series of abandoned cart reminders, we make sure to always send you the text message based on your time zone. So with this feature on, you will be able to send a text message at 9 a.m. for both customers based in Boston, as well as clients based anywhere in Europe, Australia, you name it. So in this way, we kind of guarantee that you would have optimal open rates for the text messages, and those range to up to 45%. And that's the click-through rate. The open rates are about 98%. And ideally, you would get much better results than waking someone up during the night. Another important feature that I would say is important for us is the quiet hours. And with the quiet hours, you always make sure that the text message does not go out if it's nighttime during this client's in this client's country where they're living. Based on the TCPA and CTIA regulations, you're not allowed to send any text messages between 9 p.m. and 8 a.m. And by just inputting those two times at our settings tab, we always guarantee that the customers wouldn't be woken up in the middle of the night. So I think when it comes to regulations, those are really important. And when it comes to marketing arsenal, our service goes two ways. One is the regular text marketing, where you can blast a campaign to your subscribers. And then the other part is the automations, which work extremely well. And basically, you set them once and you forget about them. So they resemble the Shopify flows pretty much, and they work very well. They work as a sequel. Yeah, basically those two aspects of the app, I believe, are quite unique and interesting.
Yeah, definitely. You mentioned this TCPA regulations, and I didn't know what it was, so I looked it up. And so basically, it's the Telephone Consumer Protection Act, and they're saying it's kind of a federal statute that was kind of enacted in 1991. It's kind of designed to kind of safeguard consumer privacy, and they're saying this legislation restricts telemarketing, voice calls, SMS, text, and fax. So, so what you're saying is SMSBump is compliant with all of this and on top of these sort of regulations.
So the way it happens is that once you install the app, we ask you to go through our Get Started guide. And in this guide, we basically have a series of tutorials which teach you how to make your store TCPA compliant. Basically, we teach you how to create a special wording in your checkout so that when customers enter their phone number, they know that might be texted out a little bit later. We also teach you, just to edit a portion of your terms and conditions or privacy policy where you're basically notifying that customers might be texted. And the important part here is that you need to mention what would be the maximum number of messages that they can get during the month in the span of 30 days. So all of that are basically taken care by us. You just have to follow the tutorials. I think the setting up of the app on its own wouldn't take more than 5-10 minutes. And on top of that, we have a series of best practices recommendations which will teach you how you can launch successful text marketing campaigns. And as well, we give you a few templates about automations and text marketing ideas
All right,
as well.
very cool. So you probably know where this question's going. I'm going to call it $1 million question. But so how do merchants, store owners, how do they get site visitors' phone numbers? Just so they have the opportunity then to communicate with them through SMS.
Yeah, that's a great question and a great transition indeed. Okay, since we basically finished the last point with the checkout, so we offer 3 ways for store owners to collect subscriptions. Number 1 would be via the checkout, where you need to kind of change the wording of the accepts marketing field, which Shopify gives you as an option. Number 2 would be via our subscription form. So basically, we have a subscription form that comes with the app, and you can insert it either on a specially designed page where you can run a promotion saying, sign up for our exclusive text marketing offers and join our VIP club or whatever and get 5% off on your next order. So this is a great sort of a incentivation for customers to leave their phone number. And what happens is that once they leave their phone numbers, we send them a text message with a link that they need to click in order for them to be subscribed to text marketing. So we imply the double opt-in method. And on top of that, for customers based in the States, there is also a third option, which is by texting a special keyword to our short code. So keywords are text words are special codes that one can text to a phone number. And once they text this keyword to a phone number, we would automatically reply with a text marketing with a message basically confirming their registration. Those 3 methods, when used together, I believe work extremely well for improving your subscription rates. And of course, since we're a text marketing app and we don't specialize in pop-ups, we have ready integrations with just and Privy. And we're also cooking up a few other ones for customers that want to create stunning pop-ups that, basically increase the subscription rates for their clients.
Yeah, I just had an interview recently with Just Eric Christensen. And yeah, it was one of the comments that he was making that connecting to your solution, because he felt that instead of just blindly popping up when you hit the homepage, and being very strategical about where and when, time-based, page-based, could be on the cart. There's all different ways that triggers can happen. And so even exit intent, and then capturing a phone number and getting people into a special campaign just for SMS is very interesting. So it's great to see that there's that kind of connection. So.
I just want to confirm everything that you've said. I believe all of the apps that specialize in pop-ups imply really great tactics, and they basically follow the behavior of the user. And when you don't get an immediate splash of a pop-up once you enter a website, it works really well after it spaces off. So we decided to partner up with them and integrate our solution with them just for this reason.
Let's talk about automations then, because I have firsthand knowledge of the solution, because like I said, many clients are using it right now of mine that are they're just generating some huge extra revenue. So let's talk about how these automations work. And do you have any kind of, I guess, almost recommended or kind of well-performing sequences that you have found other Shopify store owners are currently using?
Yeah, sure, certainly. First of all, I would like to share some results of the app, so far. For the short 1 year that we've been on the market, we were able to gain around $73 million for our customers globally. The results that we're seeing with some of the users who are finding out about our app are staggering. I just want to mention a YouTuber which is called Ricky Hayes. So he installed our app, and then he did a video on the app, and we didn't know. So one day we're coming to work, and we're just seeing about 150 new installs, and we're like, "What's going on?" And we just started asking the customers who are opening support tickets with us on various reasons and questions. Where did you come from? How did you learn about our app? And they were all pointing to Ricky. And the interesting thing with Ricky is that he invested less than $1 with the app, and we were able to recover, I believe, $1,200. So with $1, less than $1, it was 90 cents or something. He was able to get sales for more than $1,000. And I just think this is absolutely stunning, and something that really brings a lot of joy for our team. Now, to your question, and of course, he gains all those stats with using our abandoned cart sequence and our customer reactivation. So one thing that we recommend for starters is, and I'm going to backtrack a little bit. If you're using only SMS, then I believe you can be a little bit aggressive and send one abandoned cart reminder 30 minutes after someone abandons their cart, and then 10 hours later, another one, and then 1 day later, another one. But if you're using a bouquet of different solutions like email marketing, social retargeting, and push notifications, I believe it's really important just to kind of pace those out. So if you get started with social marketing, for instance, any of the great apps which are around, you have to make sure that you don't send text messages at the same time that you basically do the social retargeting. So the thing that works better for our clients or best for our clients is 45 minutes after someone abandons a cart, and then follow up 9 hours later. So this works really well. And here I would like to point that the wording is really important. You don't have to basically use the same message twice. Try to be creative. Try to give your clients your best offer, slightly higher than the other sources. And always work on multiple channels for optimal results. So shout out to any other app that helps customers, recover revenue.
For sure. I mean, yeah, multi-channel is like the huge conversation today, and it's just like you have to be there where the customer is and throughout their whole buying journey. And it's nice that marketers are learning that and then are where the customers need to be at the right time.
Yeah, and here I would like to mention our other secret weapon, which is customers who haven't bought more than X number of days. This is another great automation that we offer, and it converts really well. So basically, with SMSBump, you can set an automation which texts a client that hasn't shopped for, let's say, 15 days. So he purchased something 15 days ago, and you have a great offer for them that would bring them back to the store. Now here we found out that the optimal days is 28 days. We have experimented with 15, we have experimented with 60, but we believe that the golden rule here, not too late, not too early, comes to 28 days. And again, those bring some amazing results. Actually, one thing that I forgot to mention earlier on what differentiates us with the other apps, we're just trying to be as ethical as possible. So whenever a client signs up with our service, they always only pay for the text message itself. So we do not charge a percentage of the revenue that we recover, or we don't put additional taxes for using our platforms. Basically, they just load up funds And if they're happy, they subscribe, and those funds get auto-loaded. And of course, if they're not happy, they're just going back to their normal means of promotions. But again, we have seen some insane return on investments, like 100,000%, 35,000%, just because the text messages are so cheap.
I'm actually looking for confidentiality reasons. I'm not going to share who the merchant is, but I recommended them to use your solution, and they're doing it in the format of Facebook Messenger retargeting first, then SMSBump, then email. And in the last 30 days, through automation, which would mean using the cart abandonment sequence that's set up in SMSBump, they generated an extra $10,000 in revenue that likely would have not been generated. And then the text message kind of, I guess I don't know what the word is, but I guess their campaigns, the kind of specifically outreach to a list of merchants, they generated another $19,000 in incremental revenue by using the solution. So their ROI is out of control. A very small amount of money was spent for generating close to $30,000 in incremental sales for a very small amount of money. Text messages are like a penny and a half per text message, I think, in most kind of North American markets and stuff. So it's quite inexpensive to get that attention and to share what it is, either through a campaign or through a cart abandonment sequence. And so it looks like one that worked well for them. I mean, it may not work for everyone. Depends on kind of your maturity as a business, but one that works well is, has ordered but hasn't ordered in a while, and they had 24,000 people they sent it to, and that's what generated a lot of their revenue. And they offered a 15% off coupon recently, and in September 16th, and it blew up for them. And so it just shows that there's value in having the kind of the set it and forget it kind of idea with the cart abandonment. And, as you said, figure out which solutions you're going to use in what sequence, and, and make sure they're kind of removed from continually being emailed or social share, the social kind of retargeting and things like that, or Facebook Messenger retargeting. As long as those are removed out of the equation once a successful transaction has happened because of a cart abandonment sequence or a campaign sequence, I think it's really a no-brainer, and it's a win-win situation.
Yeah, definitely. And I would just like to add that indeed, if you're just starting your business, I would say give it some time to gain popularity, because if you don't have any customers, you wouldn't have anyone to message. So try to, stabilize your business, gain some insight, and always experiment. Do not focus only on one channel, go omni-channel, and try to pace out everything so it works as an army, basically, for you.
So you must have a roadmap. Let's talk about that. You've kind of just talked about some release of new features already now, with being able to send messages at the same kind of time in the time zones that are applicable for global brands. But can you share what can be expected for the SMSBump product moving forward?
Yes, Steve, we actually have a roadmap which is quite ambitious, and we have prepared to release some awesome features by Black Friday, because basically this is a very important date for store owners. So we would like for them to get prepared for Black Friday. The feature that I mentioned earlier was just released, hasn't been announced yet, but we're going to market it because we have quite a few store owners that I think are going to benefit from it. So basically, we have another great feature, which is called Smart SMS. So basically, if you have previously messaged a client, like if you have sent them an abandoned cart reminder, and later on, if you decide to launch a campaign targeting all of your subscribers, this customer wouldn't be text messaged. So basically, this does not allow a store owner to text a customer who has been texted in the previous, let's say, 20 hours. So again, here we're talking about not spamming customers, being diligent, and making sure that they don't get overwhelmed with promotions. Another thing that we have coming along, which I believe is quite significant, is segmentations. So basically here, you would be able to create a different set of rules. For instance, give me all customers that have spent more than $100, that have more than 2 purchases in the last 60 days, and that are based in California. So here you would be able to create very narrow and very specific customer filters. And in this way, you would be able to create different tiers of customers and send unique text messages based on, unique set of criteria. So of course, this might work great for medium to large businesses, but we believe that this is definitely a feature that will bring you an even greater ROI. Just sending a very specific promotion to your VIPs, then sending something which is also extremely good and personal to customers in a special region or certain miles away from a region or a zip code. So here you can kind of go local. One more thing that we are very happy and excited about are our new automation flows. So currently we have abandoned cart reminders and customer reactivation, the one that I have been talking about previously. And our focus is to bring more ROI automations. Like, for instance, if a customer buys a product for the first time, they would be put in a special flow. And if they buy for a second time, they will get a different sequence of text messages. Also, if they have left a review for you, you would like to award this and give them probably a discount or a shout out, also a coupon code for their birthday, all kinds of information, all kinds of promotions that would make sense for a store owner to bring out. Just set them and forget them and have them work for you. And one last thing I would like to mention, actually 2 more things I would like to mention. Number 1 would be the A/B testing, which we're really excited about. So basically here you would be able to split a campaign into a couple of parts, create your unique wording for each of those parts, and afterwards measure the results and compare the results based on how each of the campaigns worked out for you. And last but not least, who doesn't love images and GIFs or GIFs? I don't know what's the proper way to pronounce those. So this is also something that we are planning on bringing prior to Black Friday. It's going to be a US only feature for Black Friday for sure. And then we're planning on launching it.
That's very
globally.
cool. It's a really aggressive list of updates and stuff that's coming, and that's great. Please keep me in the know when these are launched, and then I will update the show notes along the way, depending on when people are listening to this episode. You'll always be able to go to ecommercefastlane.com and / I believe this is episode 27. But in any case, go to the website and you'll have the details there, and we'll update your show notes. But we are nearing the end of the show. It's been really, really interesting for me. And just because, like I mentioned at the top of the show, just being able to dig around inside people's admins and finding SMSBump and then understanding the kind of the conversion strategy that a lot of, mid and large size brands are doing, but it still can be affordable now, these sorts of strategies and tactics now for even people in startup land. And so it's interesting. So do you have any kind of closing comments or any takeaways that you would like to leave with the listeners today?
Yeah, sure. First of all, I would like to thank you for the opportunity to present our business on e-commerce Fastlane. It has been really, really great. So I would like to thank you for that. And for all the store owners that are listening right now, I would just like to say, don't leave money on the table. Text marketing and automations are extremely powerful and easy to start with. Set up your automations, forget about them, see how well they're doing in a week or 2. And if you're doing text marketing, we suggest you to do once or twice a month in order to be effective. read our best practices guides. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to help you out, onboard you, answer any questions, help you out with best practices. Yeah, just subscribe to Fastlane Podcast because we believe it's a great source of knowledge for
awesome. I don't have to do my own shameless plug. You can do it for me. That's great. As far as your guides and stuff, I have a new resources section that's been developed inside e-commerce Fastlane. So if you go there, I'll have links to any kind of downloads and stuff too that you may want to get your hands on and learn more about SMS marketing. So how can people learn more about the SMSBump app or the platform?
So the SMSBump app is available on the Shopify store. If you search for SMSBump, this is SMSBump, one word, or just search for SMS. Our logo features 2 green check marks. Go through our reviews. You don't need to pay anything to install the app. We give you some free credits to get started. Try it, write us if you have any questions. We'll be happy to help you out, and we'll do everything. So
you can go to smsbump.com too is their main website. And before recording, Mike and I was very grateful to offer a little promotion. So if you go to ecommercefastlane.com/SMSBump, it'll be in the notes. You'll get the first approximately 20 text messages are going to be included for free just to try out the solution. So turn on the cart abandonment sequence right away as part of an initial starting point. And of the people that are coming to your store, at least the first 20 text messages, at least starts the process to see the value of what the application brings. So thanks again, Mike, for coming on the show today. I really appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, Steve. It has been a pleasure.
Today's show was a little bit longer than usual, but I just think it was a very necessary marketing strategy, kind of being kind of pre-BFCM, this Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and being a tactic that I believe is super important to be implemented now, knowing that the largest kind of buying season is kind of on our doorsteps right now. So have a serious look at that. Consider Facebook Messenger retargeting. Think about email. Think about push notifications. These are all things that are super important as part of a conversion strategy for your store. And thinking about it now and do it now, please. I would also like to thank everyone listening to the show, all the loyal listeners. It really is, it's my hope that this podcast is really offering a ton of value through kind of growth strategies and tactics and, in this case, kind of exclusive kind of insider tips kind of on the best Shopify apps and marketing platforms. And really, I have a personal goal, and that really is to help you grow and scale with Shopify. And, thanks for carving out some time today and listening to the show. It's a little bit longer than normal, but I truly appreciate you and your entrepreneurial journey. And please enjoy the rest of your week. And don't forget, keep thriving with Shopify.